Hello and welcome to part 2 of our season finale. In this part, I will be showing you a foam-free design using tubes and branches. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome everyone. My idea was to create a structure using these beautiful branches that we got from Nelly, Jan actually, the gardener. So what do we have in front of us? I have these nice branches. I connected them by thick Gregor Wire, what we call Gregor Wire. So the Stub Wire, 1.8 millimeter or 2 millimeter. These candles, I wired these in the same way that I did last time. And then I have beautiful hydrangea from Pieter Kolk. Yesterday Axel and I went to visit Pieter Kolk, the hydrangea grower. We did an interview. We will be editing that and we will be posting that too. So you can see how it is inside the greenhouse. I hope that will be interesting to see for you. Also, some other cool thing that we did was we visited Wim Brouwer from Crown Jewels Gloriosa. So I picked up some beautiful Gloriosa too. And it's just interesting to hear their story behind how they started their greenhouse, their business, how it grew. Very interesting, I think. I have these beautiful Gloriosa. Well, Gloriosa is really one of my favorite flowers. I've mentioned Bouvardia already, of course, but Gloriosa, I think it's an incredible flower. For those that know them, of course, I'm sure that you love them very much. For some reason, and I don't understand really why, they don't sell so much in the flower shops. They use them a lot for events and stuff, but not so much for your regular bouquet. And some people might say, maybe it's because they're very pricey, but actually they don't really cost that much if you compare them to, for example, a nice beautiful garden rose. And look at one of these stems, like what does this do for your bouquet? I think that's pretty incredible. Just one or two of these in a bouquet and you get something completely different. Of course, passionate growers, really lovely products. So I would recommend, use these a little bit more in your flower shop if you have one. Check out if you can get them. Of course, the Floral Fundamentals growers are all doing an amazing job. So you have Pieter Kolk's amazing hydrangea that are lasting for a long time. Sounds a little bit like advertisement, but it's just me being passionate about these growers. The hydrangea that's been used by Susan McCleary too, maybe she's watching, I don't know, but Susan McCleary last year went to Floral together with Holly Chapel and the crew. She made an entire beautiful green dress using only green hydrangea from Pieter Kolk, and it lasted like the whole event. She only had to refresh a couple of flowers.
Question from Angela, what root is it?
So it looks like roots, but they're actually tree branches. So I just put them upside down and then you get this interesting root system, which I thought would be interesting because I'm going to use some flowers that look a little bit more exotic. It gives me that vibe of like a swampy kind of tropical area. And I have put all these tubes. You all know how we put the things on tubes. Find a nice place for them, like this. And I'm just going to put them in between here and there a little bit. This one, for example, can come here. I place them a little bit free so that they are nice and open. So this is going to be a pretty spacious arrangement. I like to have it a bit open, and with these gorgeous flowers, these amazing Gloriosa, you actually don't need a lot in the arrangement. So I don't put in too much. I want to place them a bit diagonal. So they are contrasting the movement that the branches are making. And then I put a little bit of wire here to connect them and to hold them. So otherwise these Gloriosa might move around in a different way that I would like. So beforehand I took a piece of Oasis Bindingwire, like this one. I put them around here.
Are the hydrangeas also in tubes? I don't see.
Yes, actually everything here is in tubes. I won't put anything without water. It all needs water. There's already water inside them. And I have used the Oasis Bindingwire to bind it around so it's green. So you don't really notice the wiring too much. But I have these lovely colored elements here and I want to have that come back. So here and there I put a little detail that the red is coming back from the covered wire. So
question from Amy. Mike, you also bind the Gloriosa on the branch with wires. For fixing it, did you use softer wire to bind it?
Yeah, so this Oasis Bindingwire is, my head. Even though it's very strong, it's also soft. So it's pretty good for this type of work actually. And yeah, I don't squish it too hard. I don't want to damage the flowers, so I just twist them in a way that they don't, the Homer Simpson thing, I don't squeeze their necks. Then some separate Gloriosas. Actually, they don't pack them anymore. Wim doesn't pack them anymore unless you order them. So you can still order it packed separately. And then actually the price of a separate Gloriosa is really like a regular rose. So why would you go, of course roses are beautiful, nothing against roses, but it's just mind-boggling to me that these are so criminally underused in the flower shops and anywhere. All the florists I know love Gloriosa. So isn't this perfect for a wedding bouquet? I mean, they were even used for the coronation of our king. From Crown Jewels, Gloriosas were used for the coronation, so I think that's a big honor. So, and I'm making little groups. Some of them are parallel and some of them are going diagonal. I got some Gerbras. The material decides. So the way a flower moves should tell you where you should place it. So if it doesn't really want to go there, well then maybe something else should go there. Gerbera here.
Angela is asking, so asymmetrical?
Yes, it's definitely asymmetrical. I wanted to really focus on the asymmetricality of it, and I wanted to have it nice and linear, so just working with lines in this arrangement. And then I have some open placement of materials, and then I want to play again with the rhythm. So I got my Zantedeschia here too. So I come back with the Zantedeschia here, following this shape of the branch.
Kia would like to know, what are these little pink flowers?
I always say zinnia, but they're Monarda, because those two things are very like 70s style. That's why I mix up the names often. But yeah, they are Monardas. They are really coming back, I think, into the fashion. And then I want to have it come back over here too. So again, it's that rhythm thing. Then I have these Tillandsia, which really make me think of my friends back in Florida. I went there last year. Really nice people from Taylor Twig. They do weddings and beautiful events. I was able to help them with a couple of those weddings and see how they do it over there. And it was interesting to see. For some reason my hot glue gun isn't getting hot. What I wanted to use them for was to place them here and there. Maybe some I can stick in between the branches because they're epiphytes. They grow on the branches, of course. And then they bring a little bit of interesting lightness to the base. Maybe pulls your eye to go there too. And then we have a nice group over here.
Lisa says, Gloriosa, negative space, so nice.
Yeah, the Gloriosa really needs that negative space. You shouldn't squeeze them in too much because then they lose their magic, I think. They really shine in an open arrangement, but even on a wreath they could work as long as you give them enough space around their heads. It's still nice.
One question and one remark. The question is from Hot Cool. How to divide the space? Remark is from Angela. She says, I love the fact that you are allowing each flower or plant to show its own identity.
When I look at the flower, I try to see how much space does it need. If you look at this flower, it needs some area around it, and you kind of also look for qualities like, does this flower has a beautiful, nice thin stem? Then you should use that beautiful stem, and then the head should have its own space. And that's everywhere actually. Also with the Gerbera, I really look at the Gerbera's growth direction, so the Gerbera goes horizontal. That's how it catches the light actually, so it should be kind of more or less in a natural way.
Question from Amy. May I ask the single Monstera leaf, for what reason is it? Balance?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to have a little bit of calmth in the arrangement. From this angle it doesn't really show, but there's these beautiful two hydrangeas that are bringing some calmth, but also this Monstera leaf, it's also bringing some calmth into the arrangement. So much stuff is going on here. We need something to relax over here, pull the attention. Does maybe someone have a lighter? So all these crossing lines and all these open spaces, we need a little bit of calmth by having some closed shapes. All right, so time to go on to the next person because my mother probably wants to go. So yes, thank you very much everyone for being in the chat. Like Carel said, if you haven't subscribed yet, you're watching this for the first time, please do so. It really helps us out a lot. We will have a little bit more reach and then we can do a little bit more things in the future, so we can invest a bit more time. So then we go switch and change. All right, thank you very much everyone.
Thank you for watching part 2. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. In the next part, Jacqueline Boerma will be making a big vase design. See you in the next video.